YouTube, what's up? It's Ricardo the Barber here. We're going to do a quick little fade. My man's going to get a one on top, bald on the side, and this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. So I'm going to show you all the steps you need to get here, okay? Now, this can be a harder cut because the guidelines kind of match up different when you're cutting the top shorter as compared to when you're cutting the top longer. The sides are a little easier. So, you know, this is a very short blend, but we're going to start off with the one guard closed. And I'm hitting this hair from every angle I can, mainly because whenever you go just against the grain, you can have an issue where, you know, the clippers might take forever to cut the hair evenly. So as you can see, I'm hitting every angle I can to make sure the hair is nice and, you know, cut to the desired length. Here I'm making my initial guideline with my my Andes T outliners, cordless, and go on Atlanta Barber Beauty Supply. All right, you're gonna get these for $1.60, the cheapest I found them. So I highly recommend them because, as you can see, they're very powerful. The battery lasts for a long time. They might get a little warm because it's a DC motor, so it gets a little hotter because it spins faster. But that's how you're gonna get your power. So it makes everything quicker. You know, if you get a little quicker with them, you don't have to worry about them. But as you can see, look how quick they're shaving through all that hair back there. No problem, like nobody's business right there. So I'm going to go over the hair plenty of times because I want to make sure when I use my electric shaver, it's easy to pass whenever, you know, you hit every single hair down to stubble. It's a lot easier to do. So you're going to save your time later on if you shave the head really good. And I'm continuing the same technique on the other side where I'm curving it up a little bit and match the shape of the head. All right. And then I'm going to just knock out the rest of that hair below. Make sure you pull the ear down. Sometimes you'll forget hair on, and you know, it's very tight to the ear. So you know, if you don't go back later with a razor, you kind of messed up. You know, you want to make sure you get all the hairs everywhere. Move the body parts around if you have to. You know, but either way, grab your electric shaver, start going in. I start going downwards, and that'll knock the hair down a little bit. And then when you go against the grain, it'll knock it down a little more. This way, it's a better transition into your, you know, into the initial trimmer guideline. As you can see, I'm hitting, you know, everything against the grain. You got to be certain, you know, which way to go with this too. You can always rub your hand on the back of your client's head and understand the grain direction, you know, the pattern that the hair goes in. So this way, you could always, you know, make the hair nice and bald evenly everywhere around the head. Fold the ear down as needed. Brush the excess hair away. This way you can see what you're doing. Now I'm going to make my initial guideline, which is going to be kind of hard to see because it's an open blade, right? And there's not much difference from that to the number one guard. So you slightly see, you barely see a line. Here's a little better view of what's going on because it's a little closer to the light. So I'm going to continue that 1-inch band around the head, and I'm matching that same curve from the initial T outliner guideline. All right, I'm going to attach my half guard, which is a 1/16, and I'm going to go from open to mid to close to blend out that little bit of a line that you guys see. Okay, now if you can't blend it out perfectly, you know, it's okay. Don't sweat it. You know, especially all you new guys out there who are just learning. Just go on to the next step, which would be taking your half blade and closing it halfway, and you're going to start blending below that initial guideline. Close a little more, blend down some, and when you're done doing that, you close it fully and blend away that trimmer line. All right, this is where you could take a step back and really look at the blend and see what's needed and where. So basically, after doing all those steps, you just adjust the lever as needed and start hitting little spots that the dark spots that you see throughout the blend, and make sure that, you know, everything turns out to be nice and smooth. Sometimes you might have to put another guard back on, take the guard off. You do what's needed to make sure, you know, the haircut has a nice transition. This is what I'm doing now. So you see it's starting to come together on the side of the head. You can see the difference here from the back to the side. looks way better on the other side. So again, I'm taking my 1/16 and I'm trying to blend down a little bit. I'm closing. I'll close halfway and then I'll close fully. All right, right there, that was the close. And you'll see that line start coming, basically fading away. So back to my regular clippers, halfway, blending that line down again. You see it starting to come together. This is almost closed, not fully closed, but very close. Come down a little more. All right, and now it's closed. So now I'm blending that low line away. All right, if your clippers are not zero gap properly, you might not be able to really hit that bottom line. You can always go back with your trimmers and try to blend that line out. It's not a big deal. It's something that, you know, if you see a line, do what's necessary. So now you know if you can't get it with the clippers, go back to the trimmers. If that's what you put it in with, you could always take it out with that same, you know, that same instrument with the same setting. So this again can be a tough fade because you're going from short to even shorter. Don't let it discourage you. So here I'm on the other side, kind of see a little better. Same thing, 1/16, and I'm gonna continue all the same pattern and techniques that I did on the other side and on the back. And I'll let this play out. Now you guys will notice, I'll actually talk about this blade here. I got a ceramic blade on my magic clips that I bought. It was like 10 bucks, but man, if you guys get it, it's on Amazon. I'll try to have a link. These things cut smooth. Oh my gosh, I can't even express how smooth they are. But I definitely recommend them. You know, if you don't need it, don't get it. But you know, I like to mess around with my tools and, you know, look up different things and see what works. And so far, this is my favorite setup. This blade works great. There's no issues with it. Once you pop it on, it's like any other blade. You just get straight to work. You shouldn't have any issues. You know, it's going to act as the same other blade, just a different, you know, it's made up of ceramic instead of metal. So, and as you can see, it's doing a fine job of taking away all these guidelines and, you know, all these dark spots. So now the blend is almost complete. It's all coming together. This is my buddy Ruben, Chef the Barber. He's very good too. He's from Norwich, Connecticut, and guys could always check him out on Instagram, like some of his stuff. He's very good. But here I'm using my other trimmers, my blackout trimmers with the hair tailor modded blade on them, and these things, man, these things hit. You'll see I'm going over the hair, and his hair is very short, so you know it might be tough to really see the initial shape up line, you know, until you hit it with a razor. But he's going to get some enhancements to enhance that line. You know, he might have something that he wants to go to when he wants to look good. So we're going to make everything dark. So after we're done with the initial shape up, we're going to go over it using a nice flat, sharp business card, okay? I like using that the best because it works perfect. I got dark brown in my dispenser, and I'm just lightly blowing some of the hair fiber on them. Hair fiber is blown cotton. There's no kind of reaction you're going to get to this unless you're allergic to cotton. So I'm sure that's not a big thing. Anyways, you hit it with some of the sealer, all right? Let it dry, and we're going to get the other side. So you basically just hold this card sharp to the line that you created already. And this way, you know, it makes the work easy. You just hold it where it needs to go, hit it with a little bit of spray, a little bit of the hair fibers, lightly do the arch since there's hair there, you know, and you see this haircut really start to pop. All right, this is what the client wants. This is what they're going to pay extra for. This haircut takes 20 minutes. It's anywhere from 25 to 30 bucks people will pay you, okay? I've been making a lot more money ever since I started doing hair fibers. When you're done, hit it again. As you can see, this thing is coming out sharp, mainly because of that blade that I have, the hair tailor. I can't preach enough. You guys gotta get it if you can. If you guys ever go on hairtailor.com, you know, they mod the blades for you. They sharpen them and everything before they send them out to you. And these things come, I mean, ridiculously sharp, but they're not like gonna hurt the client. So highly recommended. Definitely check them out. When you're done, obviously hit everything with the razor. You know, you go over it, stretch the skin, you know, make sure you understand where that blade is hitting. You know, don't worry about the end of the razor. You got to worry about the actual blade. Make sure the blade hits every little hair that you see that's not, you know, that doesn't need to be there. So as you can see, I'm stretching the skin. I'm taking off some of the excess hair fiber that might have gotten on his head, or some of the spray. You clean it off as much as you can with the blade, and then you wipe it off later with the, you know, the, not the alcohol, but aftershave. You know, clean them up with the aftershave. Get the arch real nice. And this is basically what it's going to come out to be when you're done, okay? It's a nice, quick, easy haircut. You can make a decent amount of money. You could do 2 or 3 of them in an hour. And that's just what it is. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you learned something new. If you didn't, sorry, but we did our best. Peace out, guys.